Do you think, cuz?
Welcome back, guys. So, today we're going to talk about the 10 horror movie sins that should be avoided when, you know, you're going to take up filmmaking or writing and, you have plans to make a horror movie. These are the 10 sins that you should, you know, probably avoid. So, we'll not waste any more time and we'll kick off with number one. So, sin number one is making your characters unlikable. So, there have been a few horror movies. Probably the most recent example I can give would be the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, the Netflix one. Boy, there's a lot I could say about that movie. So, the second this movie ended, the second the credits came, I just all I could think was there wasn't a single character in this movie I liked. Literally, maybe the younger sister, but it wasn't enough. One character out of what? 8 characters? It's hard to focus on one good character and hate the other 7 because you're going to lose investment in the movie. Like if you watch a horror movie, what's going to keep you on the seat looking at the screen is the characters, right? And if you're watching and you hate every single character, all you're going to be thinking is this movie over yet? What time is it? Fuck. That's it. So, so yeah. Therefore, if you like every character, you're going to be invested, and you're not going to be looking at your watch. You're not going to be looking at the clock or anything. You're going to be focused because you're invested. I mean, it's fine to have, say, one unlikable character, like the Friday the 13th, 2009 remake, right? There's always that one character that everybody hates, but it works. It's a formula that actually works, you know. And then when it comes to their death, you're like, yes, this was worth the wait. Fuck you, yeah, get killed, you know. But if it's every fucking character, you're not gonna care, you know. So yeah, that was a really shit fucking thing that they did with the new Texas Chainsaw Massacre. So that sucks. Like I said, one unlikable character, maybe pushing it to 2, you can get away with, but making the whole cast unlikable, no. So yeah, avoid that. Sin number one, unlikable characters. Sin number 2 is jump scares. Now, horror movies these days unfortunately have developed a dependency on jump scares. There's particular horror movies that depend on jump scares, and it's like fucking like The Nun, for example. There was a jump scare every 10 to 15 minutes. You're not going to get invested. And jump scares are so predictable. Why? Because there's always that period, right? That music, it goes, oh, bam. And it's a predictable sound. The second the guy's walking into his basement with like a fucking little match or something, and he's looking around like, what was that noise? Oh my God. And then, oh, and you're like, oh, wait, fellas, wait for it, here it comes. Hey, there it was. Fuck off. If you're gonna make a horror movie full of jump scares and only jump scares, it's not gonna work. You're gonna lose interest again because you're like, oh, this is just fucking predictable at this point, dude. There's just no. I don't even know what to fucking say about that. That's jump scares. It's good to have 1 or 2 jump scares in your movie. That works, okay? And don't make it so fucking cliches to have the music droning and go silent and then that. At least like that's why like one of the best, in my humblest opinion, it's only my opinion, the best jump scare probably in horror movie history, again, my opinion, calm down, is The Exorcist 3. Now, it was a jump scare that literally just came out of nowhere and it was set up to perfection. It was just done so well. There wasn't a big, loud, stupid droning noise right before it. Yeah, because that would have ruined it. You would have saw it coming and that would have took you out of the moment because you're like, oh, jump scare's coming. You know, but if you're not expecting it, it will catch you off guard. You know, we go to horror movies to get scared, don't we? None of us go to a horror movie for the fucking story or to find out if Barbara's been secretly fucking the nanny. Okay, some of us might, but not all of us, okay? Oh shit. But yeah, fucking hell. So, sin number 2, jump scares. Sin number 3, overuse of CGI. Now, I'm not going to go into full depth about this because I already actually have a dedicated video on this topic of overused CGI in horror movies. So, you know, if you want, go check that out in my channel, you know, and share your thoughts below after you watch it. But yeah, overuse of CGI can literally destroy a horror movie. Like, the one example that pops in my head instantly is It, Chapter 2. It's ridiculous how much CGI was in that movie. Like, can we all fucking agree on that? For example, right? It's a scene we all saw in the trailer, right? Bev was talking to the granny and she's talking and she freezes with that creepy as fuck smile. And it was effective and creepy because it was actually the actress that did the smile that was actually doing it. And she did a really great job. She made it creepy. Fair fucking dues. Great. Then you get the scene where she runs off, and then in the background you see her like sneaking in the background like fucking Bugs Bunny. And then you get the scene where Beverly's like, and you hear the footsteps running towards her. And then you see what the fuck's chasing her. That fucking monstrosity. That the fucking developers sat down and took time to create that fucking thing. And it's stupid. It looks awful. Buffed to the fucking gills of CGI. Took me out of the fucking the moment. In the cinema I went to watch this in, it was full packed. And when that came up, everybody was creepy up until the ending. You saw the granny peeking around the corner, everybody was like, oh my god, oh my god. And then whenever that thing appeared on screen, everyone erupted into laughter. That's not what you go to a horror movie for. You know, I even heard the guy behind me actually saying, that looks bad. Come on, like, so it wasn't just me that thought it, he thought it, the whole fucking cinema that was laughing thought it. And how they could have fixed that scene and actually had made it creepy was so simple in my head. It's so simple. Think about it, right? The granny runs off, you see her peeking around the corner, and then you hear the running towards Bev. What would have made that creepier is you only see the feet and the legs running, but don't show above. Leave it to your imagination. Just show her big scared and running out the door. And that's it. Don't show anything. Just show the legs running towards her. And just leave it to our imagination to think, I wonder what she saw. What the fuck did she run from? That would have been scarier. Then I guarantee my cinema all would have been just screaming. And there would have been no laughter. You see? That's the point. Just think of them two scenarios. Screaming, which they would have in my idea. Oh, the monstrosity that we got that had everyone laughing and literally bashing it. You know. It's like, come on. But yeah, It Chapter 2 was probably the biggest example of just overused CGI. Don't get me started on the fucking spider. Or Jaws 3. Like I said, I don't want to go into too much depth. Tempting as it is, but I already have a dedicated video to this topic. That's why I'll not go too much into it. If you want to hear me rant about it, or about CGI even more, go watch that video. So yeah. Sin number 3, overused CGI. Sin number 4. I know I'm gonna get a bollocking for this one. But listen, hear me out, fellas, ladies. Hear me out on this one, okay? The overuse of nudity. I have a theory, right? That when a director and the whole team sit down midway through the movie and they look back at it through the camera and they rewatch it, and they're sitting there and they start to think, boys, ladies, I think we have a shit fucking movie on our hands here. The fuck were we thinking with this? I mean, look at what the fuck were we thinking? Oh, this is gonna flop at the box office. We're not gonna make a fucking dime. Anybody, any solutions? Anyone? I think I have an idea, boss. I know how we can fix the movie. Tits. Titties. Bazonkas. Think about it. This movie's terrible. Oh, I'm about to walk out. This movie's shit. You get a lady. Never mind. This movie's actually not that bad. Sit down, sit. Getting to the best bit now, huh? Tits. Do you see what I mean? Nudity, in my head, is a way of fixing a really shit horror movie. I mean, from that example, as you've seen, overuse in nudity and sex and, you know, it just makes no sense. It doesn't make any sense. Focus on the story. And if you have to have nudity or a sex scene, just have one and make it brief. You know, like for example, right? One of my favorite horror movies, not the favorite, but one of my favorite horror movies is Friday the 13th, part 6, right? Love it to bits. Oh, great fucking soundtrack too. But it had a sex scene in it, but it was a fully clothed sex scene. And it wasn't as in your face. It was like silly, it was a bit funny, whatever. But it wasn't like fucking tits popped out and fucking every 3 fucking minutes into the movie. But it worked. You got that in. Anybody who needs their fucking sex scene fix, you're sorted. But you know what I mean. It's unnecessary. There doesn't need to be that much. It doesn't add to the story. It doesn't add to the horror movie, does it? And if you wanted to see sex and nudity, go to Pornhub. Simple. They're not sponsoring this video. No. Honest. So, yeah, sin number 4. Overuse of nudity. Don't need it. So, Sin number 5 is making you sympathize with the killer. Why? Why the fuck does this concept exist? Why? Like, I have a few examples of it, right? Halloween 5, right? It's a fucking shit show of a fucking movie anyway, but we're focusing on this part. There is a scene where Jamie Lloyd runs up into the attic. Michael runs up after, and she climbs into this little fucking box thing, and she's like scared, and he has her where he wants her, and he's about to do the deed, and he suddenly goes onto his knees, takes the mask off, takes it fucking off. Cunt never keeps it on in these fucking movies, does he? Takes the fucking thing off and just starts crying. We supposed to sympathize with this guy? 5 movies in, well, technically 4 movies in with Michael in him, and he's been slaying bitches left and right. And we're supposed to suddenly rethink those 4 movies and sympathize with them. Get the fuck. No. No. Why? Why is this a thing? It takes the intimidation out of the villain. You know, I mean, that's almost like, for example, right? Another example, the original Texas Chainsaw Massacre, right? Where they have Leatherface, and in the first half, he's intimidating as fuck. He's out pulling people into the fucking butcher room he has, hanging people on hooks and shit, chasing after them literally into the fields with a chainsaw, and that is fucking scary. And then you get to later on when the family come home, and you get the cook beating his ass with a fucking stick, a fucking broom or whatever the fuck it was. And Leatherface is like, you know, I get Leatherface is supposed to be like mentally challenged and unfortunate, you know, he's not all mentally there, you know. But it still takes the intimidation out. Because suddenly that's all you see. Like, look what your brother did to the door. And he's like, I mean, maybe it's just me. And then when he chases her, Sally, out in the last scene out of the house, I'm already taken out because I'm like, I can just hit you with a fucking broom and you'll drop that chainsaw and cry. So, but silly little things. I might be nitpicking there, and if I am, fuck, sorry, but it's just me throwing out my thoughts. And he did the same in the Texas Chainsaw Massacre 3D. Remember, they had him killing people, then suddenly he's not all bad. And he tried to make you sympathize with Leatherface after he killed people. Like, fuck off with that. If you have a killer and they're killing, stick to that. Fuck the sympathy, fuck all that. Focus on that. He's a killer, he's evil, that's it. Full stop. Even in Nightmare on Elm Street the remake, 2010 one, did it. Freddy was going around killing teenagers, left, right, center, petting dogs. That is a funny line. I have to give it that. The movie's blah, but that was funny. I was only petting them. It was pretty funny. I have to give credit. But after all that, they try and make you sympathize later on. You know, he was trying to say that he was innocent, and the parents jumped to a conclusion that he was, you know, diddling kids and, you know, killing children and just doing all that sick shit. And they tried to say that the parents assumed he did, and we're supposed to believe that he was innocent. They killed him now. That's why he's killing everyone. Get revenge. It's Freddy Krueger. Everybody knows it. Everyone knows the story of his origin. In fact, I think the little we knew of his story origin, the better. I mean, we knew he was a child killer. We knew it was only hinted slightly of, like, sexual abuse. You know, it wasn't in your face. It was only little slight hints. And that's all you needed to know this was a sick fuck. So, yeah. Sin number 5, making you sympathize with the killer. Sin number 6, dragging on the movie. How many times have you went to a horror movie, especially in cinema? That's the worst time. You go to it and the trailer shows you all this action-packed stuff and you're like, fuck, this is gonna be fucking a scream per minute fucking movie, action-packed. You go to it and nothing happens for the first 30 to 40 minutes of the movie. Nothing. And you're just like looking at your fucking watch every 2 minutes. And then when something does happen, by then you've lost interest at that point. You know, you've said like, oh, now something starts. Great, yeah, it was too fucking late. You know, and by then you're just not invested. You're not wanting to stay. You're just wanting to leave and go for a fucking cold beer. I don't know why they do it. Why? You know, like, it's just not good. Like, you could at least throw in a couple of creepy things along the line. It doesn't have to be jump scares, but just creepy things like anything. Something in the shadows or something and it moves. Creepy things make you think, oh, okay. And it'll sort of want to keep you there because you'll be interested to see what was that in the shadows. What do I think I keep seeing? But if you don't even have that, what the fuck's the point? You know, you might as well watch TV or watch fucking EastEnders or something like that. You know, it's just, you know, give us some meat on the bone. Don't fucking have us sitting there for hours on end waiting for something to happen. Fuck, I hate that. Especially in cinema too, it's the worst. But yeah, sin number 6, dragging out stories. Don't do it. Sin number 7, bad dialogue. Oh, God. So, dialogue can either make or break a movie. If it's good, even if it's average, at best, it'll keep you watching that movie. And you're going to be like, oh, okay, that's fucking cool. All right, yeah, sure, I'm interested. Okay, that was funny what he said. You know. But there are times when dialogue can really it can really be bad. For example, right? Halloween, the remake, Rob Zombie's Halloween. The first 15 minutes, I felt like I fucking needed to fucking have a shower or fucking dip my face into acid or something. I felt so nasty. But, you know, like the words cunt, skull fucking, floppy ass tits. Just, why? Complimenting his stepdaughter's ass. Fucking creepy bastard. You know, just things make you feel like, no. It doesn't need to be in the movie. And whenever all that is over, and they like, well, I'm not even going to bother talking about that particular scene in the hospital. I think you know which one. It's got nothing to do with dialogue, so I'm going to leave it out. It was a fucked up scene. Didn't need to be in a movie either. Doesn't need to be in any movie. Nobody wants to see that. Especially, Yep, I definitely don't. But anyway, that's why the second half of that movie is pretty good because that's when it starts to feel like Halloween. And unnecessary lines, like like in Texas Chainsaw Massacre 3D, she has she has that cringy as fuck line where she throws the chainsaw over the leather face and she says that stupid fucking line. Do you think, cuz? Why the fuck did I add that effect happen? Just like fucking the chainsaw saying it. What the fuck? Oh shit. That's how you can tell I don't have a fucking script here. Just shit's coming out and I'm going with it. Fuck. But yeah, unnecessary lines. Just don't add to it. And cringy lines like, from what I recall, Jeepers Creepers Reborn had it at the end, like where she stabbed him in the eye. And there was a pause, and she said, "How do you like those papers, bitch?" Like, bitch, get the fuck off my screen. It doesn't need to be there. It's cringy and it just makes you like, why? Lines like that you would only expect in a Marvel movie. And they can get away with it because, it's Marvel. You know it's coming. But in a horror movie, it doesn't belong in a horror movie at all. So yeah, unfortunately that's the thing. So yeah, bad dialogue can make or break a horror movie. Stick to at least average. Stay away from skull fucking. Thanks. Sin number 8. We're at 8. Retconning. Oh boy. Now there are a good few horror movies I can think of that have done this and done it badly. I struggle to think of a horror movie that retconned in a good way. Retconning in a bad way, in my head, would be Aliens 3. Aliens 2 ended so fucking awesomely. It ended genuinely. She saved the little girl. She had that fucking awesome mech suit. Stay away from her, you bitch. You had all that. She saved the girl at the end after beating the alien. And they fly off into the shutter, happily ever after. The end. Aliens 3 starts. Little girl's dead. Shuttle's destroyed. Why retcon a better movie so you can hand us your bullshit fucking movie? It made no sense. Continue from where Aliens 2 ended. Have the little girl in Jaws 2. What the fuck am I talking about? Aliens 3. Fuck. And, have the fighting aliens together. Have the little girl grow up and be Ripley's, apprentice. That's what it could have been. And then later on, if they wanted, they could have done something like when Ripley's older, like a good bit older, and the girl's, a bit older too. And you have that mentor apprentice thing where they know about aliens, and they could have given us a movie like that. And it would have felt still like Aliens if they had stuck to the format. But nope, they went in the fucking opposite direction, took the good idea, fucked it in the bin, and said, fuck that shit. No. She did. They did. Get the fuck over it. And Halloween 5 did the same thing. Halloween 4 had an awesome ending. I'm sure back in the day dropped everybody's jaw. It ended with Jamie Lloyd, presumably at that time anyway, killing her stepmom, and Loomis at the bottom of the stairs. You know, he has a blood curdling scream at the end. He takes the gun out and everything, and she's standing at the top of the stairs with the scissors. That was a great ending. I mean, it's one of those things that if the franchise ended with that, you could get away with that. And I guarantee a lot of people would be saying, there would be 50-50. One half would be saying, bring back Michael, and the other half would be like, bring back Jamie. You know, if you had ended it like that for like, say, 10, 20 years, that's, you know, the halves that would have been asking for Halloween to come back with both sides of killers. But no, Halloween 5 retconned the whole thing. Jamie Lloyd did not kill her stepmom. She stabbed her, injured. That's all. She survived it. It made Jamie Lloyd a mute in that entire movie. Apparently because they didn't have time to write any dialogues for her. So instead they just said, shut you shut the fuck up. Okay? Now, action. You know? It just doesn't make sense. Some people would even say, well, it's not retconning. I was gonna bring Jeepers Creepers 3 up for not continuing straight from where how 2 ended, but that's not really a retconning because they didn't go after that. It was in between 1 and 2. So that doesn't count. I'm trying to think of retcons that... But hey, look, anyway, those are the 2 examples at least that I've got. And, you know, that's what I was thinking of. Halloween Resurrection. Infamous. I know you all know this one. I get it. Can you imagine a world, just for a moment, just for a second, imagine a world where Halloween H2O is the last one and they never continued on. Imagine. I mean, they could have got away with it. You know, Laurie Strode facing the demon, facing the monster, the boogeyman, finally chopping his head off at the end. Boom. Great fucking ending. Satisfying as fuck. You're happy for Laurie, sorry. For Laurie, you're like, fuck yeah, you did it. You fucking did it. And Resurrection comes along, says, fuck all that. That wasn't Michael that got beheaded. He was a paramedic. He switched outfits. Michael went to work that night in the hospital. Did a shift. This poor bastard got his head chopped off. Why? It was unnecessary. That's why there's so many passionate haters of Resurrection, because it destroyed a better movie. It didn't destroy it, but it destroyed that ending. And there's a lot of people who get the Halloween H2O and they stop there. They say there was nothing after this. It ended here. And I understand. I get it. It should have been. Halloween Resurrection just destroyed the franchise. I mean, it lay dormant until Rob Zombie came. But yeah. So retcon is sin number 8. Sin number 9. Pointless character returns. Now, there are so many horror movies that have genuinely brought back a character, right? That sometimes it can work, but most of the time it's not going to work. It really isn't. Like the latest Exorcist movie, The Exorcist Believer. It brought back Reagan's mum. biggest fucking mistake they could have done. She comes back with all this really bad dialogue that doesn't even seem in character for her. Talking about she wrote a book and Patriots. Why? This does not seem like the same character that was in the original movie. It really doesn't. The character from the original movie seemed like a genuine mom, and we all sympathized with her because of how she's being treated, and that her daughter unfortunately is going through such traumatic events. You get her in this movie. She's just a completely different character. She's more selfish. She adds nothing to the story. It's more for nostalgic more reasons, and they obviously tried a Halloween 2018 stunt, bringing back that character and making her rugged and grizzled. It doesn't work. Different franchises. It worked for Halloween. It's not going to work for the fucking Exorcist. And the return added nothing to the story, as I said already. She had some bullshit dialogue. Then she gets stabbed in the fucking eyes. Ends up in hospital for the rest of the movie. Blind, I expect. Halloween, Texas Chainsaw Massacre, Netflix. Yeah, we're back to that shit show. Tried to bring Sally back, recasted. And she got the most bullshit, the most bullshit fucking end to her character. Added nothing to it. In fact, it was more disrespectful to the actress that played the original Sally. If you know all the shit she went through for that movie, especially towards the end of that movie, like mentally, like fucking mental torture, and you bring her back recasted, add nothing to the character. She has that line, "Hey asshole, I'm the one that got away, remember?" Gets killed 2 minutes later. Just fucked into the fucking, on top of bags or something, like in near the bin. Dusts himself off, walks off. What was the point? It was disrespectful, it was unneeded, and it was just fucking stupid. There was no call for it. Nobody asked for it. I don't know about you, but I've never watched any Texas Chainsaw Massacre sequel and thought, I would love Sally to come back. That's probably the one character I've genuinely never felt I needed to come back. Because it felt like a one and done. As well, it should have. The story should have been left there. That's it. There's nothing else to add. She got away. You just, in your mind, imagine she went to therapy for the next 10 years. Hopefully got better, met a man, started a family. You know, and ended up like the version of Laurie Strode in Halloween H2O. You know, slight alcohol problem. Really protective, but yeah. That's what you imagine. There's no call for her to come back. So, unnecessary. If you can think of a character come back, put it this way, right? Let me know in the comments below which character you think from the old days should come back to modern horror. And why. And if you can think of a genuinely good reason that justifies that return, let me know in the comments below. I'm genuinely interested. I literally love going to the comment section below because I just love talking about horror, and that's why I made this channel, so I can talk about horror movies. You know, it's a passion. I love horror movies, and that's why I like talking to you guys below, so we can have a discussion about horror movies. Ya see? So yeah. Sin number 9, pointless character returns. Now, the final sin number 10. Being predictable. Now, there are movies that are genuinely so predictable. Now, the last two Scream movies, right? 5 and 6. I literally, within the first 15, 20 minutes of the movie, predicted in my head. I even said it to my partner. I said while we were watching it, I bet you he's a killer, she's a killer, he's a killer. And I end up to be right. And I'm like, oh, fuck. I didn't want to be right. And that's down to predictable writing. You know, like the spoiler alert, if you've not, you know, if you've not seen Scream 6, the detective makes particular dialogue that immediately implements him as a killer. And boom, he was. See, another reason why dialogue is important. If it's bad, it's going to have that type of impact. See, we carry back to bad dialogue. That's why it's important. You know, if it's bad and out of place for a particular character. Now, it's not always the writing. It can be the actor or the actress's execution of that line that can do it. But either way, like, predictable is also the guy in the slasher movie saying, the lights are out. Okay. I'm going to go to the generator and try and fix it. Got my half-working torch here, don't worry. There we go. No, you stay there. I'll go on my own. You stay here and you sit by the phone. You know, the one that's off the hook. Yeah, just in case, you know. In case someone calls. I go to the generator. He goes, gets killed. Who saw that coming? You just know what's happening. I'm going to go over here on my own. No, you stay here. Yeah, he's going to get killed. Yep. Oh, look, yeah, he got killed. Hey, look, oh, his friend found his body. Oh, he's screaming. Oh, no, he's dead too. Oh, wow. Didn't see that coming. You know, things like that. Like, it's just become so predictable. Or, you know, you watch a movie and there's so many times I watch a movie and I literally predict what's going to happen. Like, it feels so obvious and it's not even hidden so well. It's just, you know, it's just so sloppily put together and like they're saying, they might get it, they might not, whatever. And you see it coming like less than halfway through the movie, you know what the twist is, and you're like, I bet you it's this or that. And it is. Like, let me know in the comment section what movie you found extremely predictable that you watched. I'm interested, actually. Can't wait to read. Some movies aren't predictable. And they're the ones that are great. In my opinion, again, my own opinion, you have yours, I got mine, we all have ours. It's an entitlement of being human. We should all have our own opinions and embrace it, not be ashamed. But there's a movie called Malignant by James Wan, and it has a twist at the second half, more than second half, which I never saw coming, and I thought, fuck yeah. For once, I actually didn't get it. You know, or at least one of the times I didn't get it. But yeah. So, yeah, sin number 10, making a movie predictable. Throw us a bone. You know, make us really think. Don't make it too obvious what's going to happen next. There are so many horror movies out there that unfortunately have been cursed with that sin, and it's unfortunate. So, those are my top 10 horror movie sins. Do you agree with the list? Is there a sin that I missed? If so, let me know in the comment section what other sins there are that I maybe never mentioned in this video. Can't wait to read. So, if you enjoyed the video and you stuck it this long, thank you so much. I wholeheartedly appreciate it, and I appreciate you. So, if you think I've earned it, please give me a like, subscribe if you think I've earned it, and if you didn't like this video, like it anyway. So, thank you so much for watching, and as always, don't kill anyone.